what do you have in mind in terms of plans or ideas to promote racial harmony in Durham?
I think, I'd like to see folks start with an open mind and appreciate each other's individual character. As I talk to people, I say, you know, I haven't met a person yet who had any choice in when they were born, where they were born, to whom they were born, what their name is, what they look like, what gender they are. And if I take it from that approach, as I have with my students all my teaching career, each person is an individual. And God, as far as I know, had made two of them alike in. I think we are given a set of characteristics at birth that we, by parents, were heavily influenced. But at our age of accountability, 12, 13, 14 years old, we can begin to make our minds up. And I think they have to have an open mind. I think, and that is universal for all ethnicities and the folks in the world. You can't, I don't like to stereotype people.
Time.
If we look at most of the economic development monies that Durham City and County, particularly the county, and the reason why I'm going to mention the county, because if you live in this city, you also pay county taxes too. When you've given well over $30 million, and I am not trying to discriminate against anyone, but when you give over $30 million to nothing but white companies, and you cannot even encourage those white companies to hire your local men, many of them are going to be African-American men. I have some concerns about that. I really do. Yes, we also have economic development. The city has their economic development. Where are those dollars going? Those dollars are not going to African-American companies. They're going to white companies. If our policies are so strict that you have to put up so many dollars to be able to get monies for economic development, then we need to change the policy.
Time.
So that small companies can get some of these dollars.
There's a mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a very good question the gentleman asked. But with me, I'm about the truth. And I really don't want to comment on this because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I leave that alone. If you want to talk to me about it afterwards, I'd be glad to talk to you. But right now, I do not want to get everybody came here with a happy-go-lucky feeling. I want everybody to go back the same way, happy and lucky, and go out and vote for Joe Williams. Thank you.
I think that we must really just acknowledge that there's been a legacy of racial injustice throughout this country, and come to that first understanding. And once you first acknowledge that you've had that, then I think we need to really start building on this awareness and moving the awareness forward by working on trust. I mean, inequality comes because people sometimes don't trust one another, or they have some enlightened self-interest. So I think one of the things we should do to build that trust is look at the utilization and the sense of parity and investment in our communities. You build trust when you just say that there has been past discrimination, and we want to remedy that by ensuring that there's parity. So if there's going to be investment in areas like Hope Valley, there also needs to be investment in places like Holloway Street, and ensuring that every person, and we respect the voices of everyone in the city, so that that investment is shared.
I'm an old civil rights advocate, marched with Martin Luther King in Raleigh and here in Durham. You know, some cliches are true. And here's mine this evening, and that is, we may have come over on different boats, but we're in the same boat now. And that's the only way, indeed the only way we can move forward as a community, is to move forward together. And we don't do that by running a campaign of wedge issues, as I believe we've seen, that divide us, including from those who are new to our community, the Latino community. We have a Department of Equity. in Durham, and we have just received a national award for the Southeast in terms of how good that department is and how many minorities we are hiring. And probably next month, we may be in line for a national award. The department is headed by former County Commissioner Deborah Giles. I support those efforts, and I'm very proud of that.
Mr. Harris.
Thank you, and I'm going to bring something to the table that separation of church and state, but I am a Christian, and the only commandment that was left by Jesus is to love one another. I think if we need to put religion back in the school system, we need to put religion back in the government, and we need to start promoting the love for one another like he asked us to do, to improve the racial inequality. The question was how to improve the racial harmony. And I think if we started treating each other like we like to be treated, I think the racial harmony would come to pass.
Did you want to follow up? Go ahead.
After hearing Victoria's comment, I wanted to follow up with that too. I think just from an observation point, when you do have companies that are, I like keeping resources local. When we do have agencies or companies to come in and build our products around our buildings, our communities, but also like to see that we should follow up to see that they hire our local employees as well from our system. I would rather have them come to our community because of our employee pool and not get a monetary incentive to do so, because they want to come to Durham because of the amenities here and our employee pool, and they should hire from within our local area here. Keep the dollars here.
Can I follow up, please?
Go ahead.
Over the last several months, I have been going down on Blacknall Street. That's where a lot of our construction work is going on. Come down with me about 7:30 in the morning and see who has those jobs. Those are tax dollars that are putting those buildings up, and said one of those projects is partly private, but the parking deck is from the community, from taxpayers. Just because we bring up race doesn't mean that we're prejudiced. The African American community, we're going to have to get a grip. We no longer can continue to allow our young black men wind up in that county jail. I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but the county wants to spend $60 million to add on to the county jail. Who do you think they're going to put in the county jail?
Time.